Speaking from somebody who got that call one time early in the morning, don't panic, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Party next door.
All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Announces welcome everybody to be here, and the Open Meetings Act is posted back on the northwest corner. Anybody needs to read or refer to that, go ahead and do a roll call.
Skylar?
Here.
Greg?
Here.
Brad?
Yes.
Deb?
Here.
All right, rise and do pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, start on consent agenda. Any item listed on the agenda will be open for discussion, consideration, and/or action by the Ainsworth City Council. All items approved with the passage of one motion. Approved minutes from the September 18, 2019 regular meeting and October 4, 2019 special meeting. Approval of claims, treasurer's report, department head reports. Authorize that Ainsworth Women's Club to close Highway 7 Main Street on Thursday, October 31st, 2019 from 4:30 to 6 p.m. for the trick or treat street. Also, the city of Ainsworth acknowledges acceptance of all duties set out in subsection 2 of LB 589 NRS 39-1359, and that if a claim is made against the state, shall indemnify, defend, and hold harmless the state from all claims, demands, actions, damages, and liability, including reasonable attorney fees that may arise as a result of the special event. And item F, consider authorizing the Ainsworth Area Chamber of Commerce to close 3rd Street from Walnut Street west to the alley for bed races to be held in front of the Ainsworth Fire Hall on October 31st, 2019 from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
First by Deb, second.
I'll second.
Roll call. Brad? Roll call.
Greg?
Aye.
Brad?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Skylar?
Aye. All right, nothing for the mayor's report. Next month, hopefully we'll have a Board of Health report for the mayor's report. I'll give that to you guys where we're at with that. No public hearings, no old business. Regular agenda, I may consider approval of contractor for installation of underground sprinklers in East City Park.
Right, so we have been talking about this for essentially 2 years now. It was in last year's budget. But we had a little bit of a hard time getting a second comparable estimate. And so if you'll remember, council, in the workshops for the budget this year that we just did last month, we carried that over as a capital improvement in the park budget. So these are the two kind of comparable estimates for that work to be done. As was discussed in the workshop, this would be basically from Richardson Drive, from the park entrance to the pool house. There's that sidewalk that runs east and west from the pool back to the park drive, and so it would be all the green space in between.
Nothing south of the sidewalk there is what you're saying?
Correct, yeah.
Now installing that, if, say the Lions Club wants to put in more playground equipment and stuff like that, they have to dig. Is there gonna be some type of a map to show where the lines are, or how we can find that, or can that?
Yeah, we have a couple of systems out there in the park now. Most of them are in or around the ball fields. We do have maps for those, and Morrison's had done those. So yeah, we do kind of know where those are at.
I see, from the start digging out there and put up some playground equipment to
Yeah.
get a line, or.
And kind of the background, because a couple of you are new, since this was kind of a 2-year thing, how this all started a year ago basically was that, Jimmy right now at the park uses big hose reels and sprinklers. he spreads that hose and he moves those reels, and that's how basically he waters that park on the hill. Well, the reels were needing to be replaced, there was some broken parts on them, and at that time, we thought we were gonna be able to trade the reels against the price of a new, which was gonna be basically half of the overall cost. And then the vendor basically came back and said, no, they would not take the trades. And so I think the cost for the reels and the hoses and the sprinklers was going to be something like $20,000. And given Jimmy's a one-man show, we decided this could be a good capital improvement project for not that much more money, and to save the city efficiency-wise on labor and Jimmy a lot of time moving the hoses and things. So that's kind of the background of how this started.
Does Morrison do like maintenance or like repairs or anything on our current
They
systems?
do, yep, they're in town quite frequently, so we always have them come blow them out in the winter. They'll do maintenance in the spring, they come start them up for us, make sure our control box is working, they'll check the heads, replace as needed, and then of course we just pay parts and repairs as those things come up.
I'm sure Four Star Fabrication probably do the same thing.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Would this go east to the gravel road
Yeah.
then?
Mhm.
So everything on that sidewalk from the pool entrance to the east?
To the entrance, yep.
To follow Volunteer Drive.
Would it go south to the east of the pool house? You know, there's that green space.
No,
So just it would cut off?
Just on the north side of the pool.
Okay. I didn't
The
know, 'cause
north
you know,
side,
you know,
what about the east side of the pool?
Well, if you take that sidewalk from the
sidewalk.
pool east,
That goes
It's all
by
on the
that
north side.
shelter.
right. I'm just saying,
Volunteer drive.
east of the
It's everything
pool,
north of
you
that.
get a lot more green
Okay.
space too out to the east of the pool.
So,
I didn't know if
yeah.
you were talking about
At
getting
this
that out to
point-
the edge of the park or not.
At this
Just,
point, not.
no.
I mean, we kind of thought we would phase it. I mean, I think Jimmy and I's discussions are that eventually it would be nice to have them throughout the park. But it is a cost, so we thought we could maybe phase it, you know, like we had done with the other systems, a little in time.
so Lisa, if you come from D and B on that sidewalk, over to the pool, around the edge of the pool, and straight east on the sidewalk, everything north of that is what this
All the
project is,
green.
correct?
And that's what we call the park on the hill.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it goes to the sidewalk, yeah, from the
D&D.
opening of the pool, it goes down towards the picnic shelter, so everything north.
And
Okay.
and that'll just
All right.
leave you that chunk south
South.
of there.
South to that alley back there.
Okay.
Question on this, we got the bids, what is our time frame? Are we gonna have a time frame with this also, if we approve this today?
Well, I guess my assumption would be we'd work with whoever was selected to ensure it was completed within the fiscal year. I mean, hopefully next spring, but
Well, right, that's why I'm asking, don't we want it in probably by middle of May,
Or before.
weather permitting? Well, that's up to them. but if
Right.
it's
we-
kind of up to them, right? I mean,
Well, but I mean, for the park and for Jimmy, if we're gonna do it, we want it at the beginning of the season, I guess is where I'm coming from.
He's probably got to start watering around that time, that the water wheels are kind of
Out and about.
out and about, and can't use them, we need some.
Right. I guess that's why I'm coming from that.
ideally, that would be best.
I guess that's what I'd like to see us do, put a deadline of May 15th on it, and that way they know what we're expecting of them.
Well, and maybe what we can do is have a contract drawn that says something to that effect.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Unless weather.
So we're looking at.
Well, right.
Unless you're running
Right.
weather. I mean, as far as like
As long as
the
it's
frosted all the way out of the ground type of
Sure.
stuff, yeah.
Sure.
So
Weather
we're
permitting.
Right.
mid-May.
I would say May 15th.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd make a motion to accept Morrison's underground sprinkler system for $27,266.15 with a completion date mid-May of 2020.
Second.
Just so we're all clear, it is an estimate, not a bid. So it's potential that there could be a bit of fluctuation in the costs, just so everybody understands that.
Still seconded.
First by Brad, second by Greg. Roll call.
Brad?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Skylar?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Item B, consider selection of audit firm for fiscal year ended September 30th, 2019.
Okay, so this is something that we've, been talking about, council's been talking about here for a while now, so we put out a comparable, AMGL is out of Grand Island, and if you reviewed their proposal, you'll see they do a lot of other cities within the state of Nebraska. I have attended conferences where they've spoken at, so I guess I was a bit familiar with their firm. And if you look towards the back, let's see. And each firm did a 3-year proposal, so it should be, that way they're comparable. So AMGL for the first year quoted $14,400. For the second year, $14,650. And for the third year, which would be 2021, $14,900 for the audit for fiscal year ending September 30th of those years. Of course, any additional work to be done is paid on an hourly basis, so that would be above and beyond anything required of the normal audit. Dana F. Cole put in a 3-year proposal for the same thing. For this current year, $10,700. For year 2, $11,200. And for year 3, $11,800. And since we worked with Dana F. Cole in the past, they do the same, anything above and beyond. Normal audit is billed per hour, so very similar.
So over the 3-year period, that's about $10,000 difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Question I had, Lisa, on that, what is it, age, is that what it was?
AMGL.
I see they said it would be completed by a certain date, which I believe is the end of February. I didn't see a completion date on Dana Cole. Not that that's a large factor, but just a question.
Well, and by statute, technically speaking, the audit, we as a city are held to ensuring that our audit is completed by March 20th.
Right.
Because we're given 6 months basically to complete that audit. And so if it's not filed on time, which, we've had that happen for the
Right.
last couple of years, we have to ask for an extension. And then if we don't have it filed, I think it is by November. And I guess off the top of my head, I really readily cannot recall if it's November 1st or November 30th, but then the state withholds portions of our highway allocation and our municipal equalization funding. That has never happened. We've
Right.
always had it in.
Well, I see they had a deadline of February on theirs, so.
I guess I know it's more expensive to go with someone other than Dana Cole, but just looking over the list of who that other company does for, all the cities and schools and stuff, it's a pretty impressive list. And I think I would be happy to try someone. It's about $3,000 a year more, but, maybe we would get things on time, and it'd be good to just maybe try something different.
I think all those, I see that, I kind of go on my list too, a lot of that list is close to that
Yeah.
Grand Island area, so their travel time, and maybe that's why, the quote is higher, because they do have to travel, they do have to come out this way. The travel time.
Well,
Are we getting, I'm not able, for some reason, I'm not able to open up the Dana F. Cole one to go through. Do you think we're getting comparable jobs? Is there something different in the two?
Well, something to keep in mind with auditing firms, that's pre-selected through GAAP requirements. any auditing firm, whether it's Dana Cole, whether it's AMGL, they have preset requirements as to what they are statutorily required to audit as a municipality. Those statute requirements are different for a county, they're different for a school. So for a municipality, from one to another, those requirements are the same. And then the auditing firms, you know, they audit against the GAAP, you know, the GAAP requirements on top of that. That's the principle.
So they're
that
gonna,
they
we're gonna
follow.
get the same,
So it should
be the same.
be the same. I mean, there really should not be any additional services. I did not ask AMGL nor Dana F. Cole to quote any additional services to be provided outside of audit.
Okay, and then just give me an example, what would that possibly be, what we had in the past?
Sure, so Dana F. Cole currently, we also hire for budgeting aid and preparation services. So we pay about, I don't know if it's $2,000 or $2,500 additional for them to help us prepare and file their budget. Sometimes they, you know, different firms offer different services in that regard. Sometimes they do some kind of comparable reportings from year to year and help you hedge or gauge, find trends, those kinds of things. Those are additional services. So
And we had, this is last year, we had some additional help from Dana F. Cole when we was going through the NCDC and going through all
we
that.
pay for that by the hour.
That was different, that was above and beyond what this all
Above and
was.
beyond the audit.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it was more expensive. And so that would apply under AMGL as well.
We would have them do the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. So really, I think you probably hit the nail on the head that the cost differential is going to be your travel. And the fact also that even though all municipalities have statutory requirements that we all have to follow, our internal processes are all different, our software systems are all different, our reports that the software prints is different. So when you get a new firm coming in, they have to start from the ground up, you know, so they are probably spending more time because you have to relearn, you have to reteach all of that, whereas, and that's why most firms are gonna quote you 3 to 5 years. Because in year one, if it's a new firm coming in, they have to learn everything that you do. You know, whereas year 3, year 4, year 5, and in our case with Dana F. Cole, we've been with them a number of years. They're very well acquainted with what we do and how we do it.
Isn't sometimes that a good thing to have a different look though?
Well, it's like an inspector. You know, anytime you have a different person, they're gonna, you know, potentially interpret things differently or look at things differently, you know. You probably know that working in the
Yeah,
fire
right.
industry, it just depends on.
One inspector versus the other inspector,
Yeah.
they look at different.
But it's the same principles, it's the same regulations, it's the same standards of reporting, same requirements.
Lisa,
Yes.
if we,
I've got it, I can get it.
Skylar, Dana F. Cole.
oh, I got it on my thing. So with this auditor, so if we were to change auditors, that'd change it for like the airport authority as well, wouldn't it? Or,
No.
oh, they have their own process for that, okay. Do you feel, what do you think they've done Dana F. Cole's done a good job, or?
I do. I mean, I feel like they maybe caught some heat, you know, with some of their findings and the different things that were being done, but truthfully, they were just doing their job, you know, and that's what you want them to do. I mean, that's what we pay them to do, so you can't fault them
Right.
for having findings or for doing their job.
I've heard some things that I don't know that they've done as good a job as they could, but I'm, you know, it's hard to say. I don't work directly with them, obviously, so.
Well, it's like anything, you know, from one contractor to the next or any service. I mean, it's just,
I just think it might be kind of interesting to see if, you know, another firm would be, I'm not more interested, but would they be more apt to push us to get some things done where Dana F. Cole lets us slide, or, you know what I mean? Just the difference, and what's more important to them that we do, and, you know, it'd just be interesting to see what the difference could be. I mean, we might be missing something, and we might not.
Like,
But I think it goes back to what Lisa said, there's a standard that they have to go by and they have to
Yeah.
follow.
There's a
It doesn't
format.
matter who your accounting firm is, they still have to follow that.
like wasn't.
And they all do a random selection test. I mean, I don't know if anybody in this room, you know, outside of us employees have ever been, well, you probably have at the bank. They do a random sampling. So, you know, you send them all of your claims for the entire fiscal year. And they come up with a kind of a mathematical formulation that it's maybe every 15th invoice is what they pull. And, you know, that's how they do a random sampling. And they do that through payroll records, and they do that through receivable records, through utility billing, through every facet of every activity within the city office. They do a random sampling. And then, of course, from that random sampling, if they were to find, let's say they found an error or a mistake, then that might lead them to pull more samples. You know, things of that nature to see if there's an actual flaw in the system, or if that was just a random isolated incident, you know, kind of thing. You know, that's how the audit evolves, basically, into the report that you get.
Prior to like the whole LB 840 thing, wasn't the city supposed to be doing an audit of the program?
It has been
And they-
audited every year,
Okay.
but they audit, statutorily, it gets a little sticky, because the city, once you've granted the funds and we cut the check, I mean, Dana F. Cole or whatever auditing firm is hired by the city of Ainsworth to review the LB 840 program, it's a comprehensive review of the program in terms of the city's responsibility of that fund. So if what they do is they look at the receipts and the revenues coming in from the state of Nebraska, how we have applied that within our funds, and then how we distribute those funds. So if there was a grant or a loan that was made, are there city council minutes, loan committee minutes, whatever, to match up that expenditure that we actually made out of the office to show proper authorization. And so that's the audit that had been done previously, was
Okay.
basically all of our internal processes here at the city office to when we cut the check to whoever that recipient was.
And that,
And-
but, okay, so there wasn't I was thinking that there was like a miss, that the city kind of dropped the ball on having that audit being done. Either
Yeah,
to a
for
certain
like,
depth or to a certain.
it wasn't in depth because,
Or something like
right.
that.
'cause
No, I think it had, essentially, and I guess you can call Lori Olson at Dana F. Cole and ask her, but my understanding is why they took a more in-depth look is because through their in 2017, the city council authorized, and I don't have those numbers in front of me, but it was close to like $300,000 in LB 840 funds to the NCDC for various projects and grants and things of that nature. Prior to that, the grants had been a lot smaller dollar amounts, you know, like a $50,000